Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Has this not been the most beautiful week here in LA?
Beautiful.
The temperature, for someone who works outside, I've enjoyed it. So for today, I want to talk about, I was sitting here studying for my ministerial classes, and I was really realizing how much I've learned over the last few years, and the last few weeks. Just the depth of understanding as I've gone deeper and deeper into these practices of science of mind, religious science. I remember my first day walking into the center. I was actually coming here to get a massage with Agneta, and the ladies of Sangha were doing a dance meditation or a walking meditation in Sangha, and I was like, what are they doing? I think it was like Betty Lou and Sue and the more mature ladies, as we could say. And I'm like, this place is crazy, I don't know. And Agneta was late, and they're like, come join. And I'm like, I don't know. But here I am. I think it took me almost 2 years before I went to a Sangha and joined class. So I've been coming here a lot longer than I've actually been here. But one thing I really realized is that my relationship to God and how it's changed. Before, I always thought God was this guy in the sky, sitting in the chair with the staff, the beard, and I had to ask permission and seek forgiveness. And I remember someone said to me one time, God is in me as me, and I was like, what are you talking about? And so as I've gone through life, I'm like, how do I know that I've learned? How do I know I've gotten this? And the other day at work, something happened, and I was like, oh, wow. I'm not reacting because I know God is my source and my supply. I don't need to stress. So at work, we got an email saying that they're going to tear down the place in a couple years, get rid of the tennis courts, and build an athletic center for the new owners, which is Harvard Westlake School, and they'll make a big athletic field. There'll be 8 courts, and a bunch of tennis instructors started texting each other, and the conversations about what are we going to do? And I realized I was just sitting there in a peace going, it's all going to work out. I don't really need to stress about all this stuff going on. You know, it might take 2 years, it might take 5 years before they end up tearing down this place, but whatever happens, it's all going to work out because I know God is in everything. And so I wanted to share a story with you that I found in my Islam class. I'm taking Islam right now for ministerial school, and I'm loving it. It's just this wonderful, wonderful religion that's so heart-centered. But there was a story I shared in the foundations class with the students. I don't think anyone here is in the foundations class. But it is a perfect example about how I realize God is everywhere in me and through me in every situation. So this is from a book called Heart, Self, and Soul by Robert Frager, I believe his last name is. Sheikh Jinan had a young dervish he loved very much. Jinan's older dervishes became jealous. One day, Jinan told his dervishes that each of them was to buy a chicken and then sacrifice it at a place that no one can see. No one at all. Whatever they did, the dervishes were returned by sundown at the latest. One by one, the dervishes returned to Jinan, each with a slaughtered chicken under their arm. Finally, the young dervish returned with a live chicken, still squawking and struggling under his arm. The older dervishes laughed and whispered among themselves that the young man had finally revealed how foolish he was. He couldn't even carry out his sheikh's orders. Jinan asked each dervish to describe how he carried out his instructions. The first man returned, said that he had purchased the chicken, gone home, locked the door, closed the curtain, and slaughtered the chicken. The second dervish said he returned home with his chicken, locked the door, pulled the curtains, entered a dark closet, and slaughtered it there. The third dervish also took his chicken into a closet, but in addition, he blindfolded himself so that he could not see the slaughtering. Another dervish went into a dark, deserted area of the forest and sacrificed his chicken. Another went into a pitch-black cave. Finally, it was the young man's turn. He hung his head embarrassed. His chicken was still squawking under his arm, and in a low voice he said, I brought the chicken into my house, but everywhere in the house there was a presence. I went into the most deserted place of the forest, but the presence was still there with me. Even in the darkest caves, the presence was there. There was no place I can go where I was not seen. The young man had the presence of God. Then the other dervishes realized why Jinan loved him. So as I think about this story, I realize God is everywhere. He's in he, she, it, this energy is within each and every one of us. So I don't really need to worry about what's going on at work. I don't need to worry about many things because I know God is with me everywhere I go. And I know this for each and every one here today. Namaste.